So I just wanted to come on here and give my a viewpoint on a couple of things. Number one, I'm super involved in the Chris Watts case. I have been from the beginning as soon as it came out, and I purposely don't have the video facing me because I just got out of the shower and I look like crap, so please excuse that. But anyway, the case, as a former paralegal and somebody who has helped put countless murderers and rapists in prison, I worked for my county DA for many, many years, and I just cannot get past what has gone on in this case at all. I can't get past so many things. The way that the interviews were conducted, the way that NK was not interrogated as she should have been, not interviewed. The fact that she was allowed to bring her father into the interview as a 30-year-old woman, that in and of itself is just not normal. It just doesn't happen. Not only that, but her father was able to and continually cut off the detective and basically said, nope, you're not asking my precious daughter these questions. And he obeyed and stopped that line of questioning. It was all very bizarre, to say the least. And like I said, it doesn't happen. So, that being said, also, there's so many things, and people keep going back to the video and saying, like, oh, that's not her on the video, that's not her, this is a fake ponytail, this is whatever the case may be. I'm still not sold as to whether it was her, whether it wasn't her, but it doesn't even matter. It's irrelevant because there's just so many other things. Whether she came out on that video or she didn't, a lot of people believe she went out the back, which is very, very possible. There were tire tracks, there was cellophane from cigarettes, there were screens taken out, there were so many things that would indicate that she was there. So I don't care if she was on the video or she wasn't. It doesn't even matter. Her phone pinged only that morning, never and ever any other morning. She lived a half hour away from there. There was no reason for her phone to ping in Frederick on that morning, unless she was there. The fact that they didn't speak on the phone, NK and NCW did not speak on the phone that morning at all, when they spoke every other morning on the phone. So you tell me, why didn't they speak on the phone that morning? What was their 111-minute phone call about the night before the murders? Why did she feel the need to delete all of her text messages? Not just the ones that were that she was embarrassed or didn't want to get out there. Not just those, but all of them. Like I said, there's a gajillion things. I could go on and on and on. But the main reason I'm saying all of these things is because there's so many people out there that are disturbed as to the fact that we're still discussing this and we're still implicating that she was, a part of these murders and all of that. And they're angry and mad, and there's bullying and there's hate and there's this and there's that, and they're saying, oh, you're basically accusing her of murder. Well, add it up, it just doesn't make sense. There is way more there that would make sense that she was there than the opposite, than that she wasn't there. So I just get totally floored when people get angry and say, how could you say this? How could you say that? How could you, because it's there, it's right in front of your faces. And being involved in law enforcement and prosecution like I was, I have been over there. I have seen all of these things, all of these cases to their fruition. I have sat in jury trials and watched the conclusion, because I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these cases, and I would sometimes sit in for the verdicts. And it's just nothing makes sense. I've said this before, the only thing that makes sense is a very complex cover-up by law enforcement and the DA and all of that, or there is an ongoing investigation that nobody is aware of. I know where this has been disputed, but where I live, I also had ran the grand jury with the county prosecutor for a couple of years, and we can have what they're called secret investigations, which eventually usually lead to secret indictments. And those cases, if they are a secret, are not given a case number even, or put on the list for the grand jury, because the public cannot be aware if and until they're actually indicted. Then they would get a case number. And I believe that if NK was being investigated, it would be under those circumstances. It would not be public knowledge for so many reasons. That makes sense to me, although it was, there's been some dispute on that, because apparently in Colorado, you can't have a secret investigation. They don't do secret investigations. They don't do secret indictments. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into any of that yet. But knowing what I do know and working in the fields that I have, I've seen all kinds of crazy things go down as far as these kinds of cases go. But I have never, ever, ever seen anything such as this. The fact that the house was not, it wasn't designated as a crime scene for more than a few hours at the most. There was never, I mean, there were so many people in and out of it. It was contaminated. There are so many things that they didn't even take into as evidence. It just an enormous amount of things that don't make sense. So I guess the main thing is, why I wanted to get on here and talk is because, there's so many angry people out there right now, and there's so much bullying and hate, just so much hate, because all fueled from the beginning of this case. The Rucheks don't want people talking about it anymore, but that's just simply not going to happen, because people are, talk about cases for years and years and years, and it is our right to talk about whatever we want to talk about. It's our right. You can't, I feel absolutely heartbroken for this family and what they've had to endure, and I can't even imagine. I have 4 children myself. I can't imagine the heartbreak, the awful, just awful. It's just awful, and I feel for them, but at the same time, I don't agree with the fact that nobody can talk about it or have their theories. I mean, the thing is, the theories that are being put out there, they're not even all that crazy. They are based on a lot of fact. And yeah, people fly with them and say, oh, well, this could have happened and that could have. It's theories based on what's been put out there, and even based on what hasn't been put out there. Why are so many things retracted? I've never seen that either. I've never seen so many things. I'm sorry, redacted is what I meant to say. I've never seen so many things be redacted in Discovery. It's bizarre. And if you think about it, Letitia Stalk, or however you say her name, there's like 20,000 or more pages of Discovery. And think about it. Chris Watts has, 1,960? It's nowhere near. And I believe a lot more is being held back than we actually even are aware of. I truly do. But like I said, I have my theories, and I don't put them all out there, but the fact that her phone pinged there, that by itself is just huge, because there's absolutely no reason for her phone to ping a half a mile down the street. Like I said, she lived 30 minutes away. She'd be going to work at that time. Why? And why didn't they speak on the phone? Well, I don't think they spoke on the phone because they were together. It's the only thing that makes sense. They spoke every other morning except for that morning. So all of this and so much more, like I said, I'm not going to get into every single thing, but I believe 100% that she is guilty. I believe that she was there. Not only do I believe all of that, I believe that people are going to wonder what I mean when I say this, but I believe she is more of a danger to society than CW ever would be. And that's what I was going to say. Just please don't get me wrong. I believe he is 100% where he should be and should spend the rest of his life, because he let all of this happen. He allowed it to happen. A big part of me thinks he tried to back out more than once, but he allowed it to happen, and in a brief moment of time, I believe he wanted it to happen. So he is where he should be. But with that being said, I believe that if he were out in society, I honestly don't know that would ever be capable of doing anything like this again. I don't even believe he's the one that committed the actual murders. Um, uh, and also, with that being said, she, however, and Kay, I believe, is a danger to society. I believe that she will do something like this again. I don't believe that she feels 1 ounce of guilt or remorse or any of it. I almost believe she looks at it like she won. She got what she wanted. She did what she set out to do, and it was accomplished. And guess what? She's not having to pay a penny for what happened. She's not having to pay the price at all. So, shoot, why not do it again, right? I don't know. I have a lot of experience in this field. I've seen a lot of horrible, horrible things. I've seen so much more than any person would ever care to. I spent a lot of years working for my county DA and in the felony division. So pedophiles, rapists, and murderers, and incest, and parents burning their children with cigarettes and putting them in dryers and killing them. And I've seen it all. I've seen a little boy that had abusive parents that got taken away and put into foster care only to get beaten to death by his foster parents at the age of 7. I've seen horrible things, and I've never been able to get past this case, even having seen everything I've seen. This is just different. It's different for a lot of reasons. It's different because Shanann put her life out there. People feel like they know her. And it's different because justice wasn't served, period. It just wasn't. And I'm still hopeful, and I still pray that it will one day. I've lost a lot of hope as far as that is concerned, but I'm hanging on to it, and I'm hoping that it'll all come to fruition and it'll all come to light, and people will actually eventually know what happened one day, and not that, but more so that Shanann and those sweet girls will have justice one day. They deserve it more than anything, and that's another part of the whole aspect that I don't understand why, the family is saying and doing what the things that they are, because if it were me, I would absolutely want people talking about it. I'd want people talking about it. Knowing the things I know, I would know there was way more to it. I would know that he didn't do this alone. I would know that he was not capable of doing this alone. He would not be capable of this on his own by any means. This never would have happened had he not met her, and it wasn't fed information to make this happen. So I just want people to open their minds a little bit and really think about it and look at the evidence, because it's overwhelming. And I'm not sure of the reason that it all has been overlooked and pushed aside. I don't know. All I can tell you is, working in the field that I have, it happens a lot. Cover-ups happen a lot. I've always said it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I think that's a big factor here. Somebody somewhere knows somebody somewhere that is very important and can pull the strings if given the right situation. So, but as far as, like I said, with the hate and the bullying and all of that, everybody, any YouTuber or anybody can talk about whatever they want to talk. They can have their theories. They can have their ideas. They can have any of that. And I can't stand when I see people going on other channels and bitching, for lack of a better word, about another YouTuber posting that he said this and he did this, and he back in 2003 who gives a flying. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Their private lives are none of our business. They're on YouTube to talk about whatever, true crime, obviously. They don't, that is just none of our business. And if so-and-so did something to so-and-so, then that so-and-so comes to me and says, well, you need to unsubscribe, or you need to, because he did this and this to me. First of all, I don't know that any of it's true. I don't know that any of it's not true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. And if that person hasn't done anything to me, then that's my prerogative. I can continue to watch them and whatever. Nobody should be out there bullying and spreading hate So much of it goes on with this case, and it's sickening, it's saddening. You know, we're all adults. I'm 43 years old myself. Like, I'm a huge supporter of a lot of different YouTubers out there, and they're all very different in their own right. And some don't like the others or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I don't even listen to any of that. All I can say is let people make their own call. You know, don't listen to somebody that tells you, don't watch them because of this or that. Do yourself a favor. Watch them. Watch them and make your own choice. Make your own decision based on what you see, not what other people are out there saying. That is my rant for today. Perhaps I'll get back on and talk some more about my ideas and why I believe, with the many years of experience I have, why I believe that there's much more to this and that she is 100%. I can say that without even thinking. She is 100% guilty. And my prayer for Shanann and her babies is that that will come to light one day. And she and Bella and Cece and Nico will get the justice that they so deserve. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Make good choices. Thanks. Bye.